Started. Again, my name is Monica. I am your white glove service manager here at BNTouch. For those of you who aren't familiar with white glove service, we are a group over here that helps loan officers get their systems set up and dialed in and create a system for them. We stop the leaking on the front end, the back end with your partners, and make sure you've got a system so that you can scale and make money faster. Today we're going to talk about trust issues, right? Our CRM sometimes, we don't use it as much as we can because we don't trust it. So it's important to make sure that the data that we have in our system is what you would expect. There's a couple features that BNTouch has that I want to make sure that you're using and that you know how to use in a way that's going to be helpful to you. And there's a couple fields you're going to want to use and some sneaky places you're going to want to make sure are activated and that you know about so that you can use them in your business.
Great.
Loan files, right? And so you're not quite sure what to do. Well, the easiest way to identify any duplicates in your platform is to go to options and go to duplicates removal tool. When you click on that, you can choose which database to search from. Okay, so if you want to look for duplicate clients, you would click search clients for duplicate records here. And of course, if you had any, they would populate here. You could do your partners and anybody that would be a duplicate would show up here. Now, so when you're looking to merge records together and make sure the system knows that they're the same person, you can merge them and you'll have lots of options to merge, okay? So you can only do 2 at a time. So if I want to merge Julian Becker to know that it is the one person with 2 different loans attached to him, that's what you would do, okay? So here I would do select both records, and this will be the same in the duplicate removal tool as well. You're going to click merge records, and as soon as I click that merge record, it's going to ask me for confirmation at some point. Hopefully my computer isn't crashing out. Here we go. In here you'll see I've got this Julian Becker and I've got this Julian Becker. Down here I can see 2 different sets of information that might help me delineate who is who and if I need one or the other. Now, if he is looking to do a new loan, this is exactly what we want it to be. And I'm not going to combine the records because that's going to merge the data together. And that would be so scary for your records because you'd be taking the old funded loan and merging it with the data of the new information. Now, sure, you might want his existing property address, but we don't want to merge, okay? I'm not going to do that here yet, but I also want to show you something else. You say, Monica, I noticed that there were still 2 records when you did that search. You're right. There were still 2 records. This little guy over here, this little drop down is going to be your best friend. If seeing all the loan records combined in them when you're trying to look at a list is overwhelming and you just want to see the humans, you can toggle to 1 mortgage per client and it will refresh. And now I just see 1 Julian. So if you've got customers who have multiple loans and it just gets a little overwhelming, put it to 1 mortgage per client because you can always toggle it back if you want to see all of the different loans that you've done with them, okay? So that's a really easy way to get some of the different duplicates in your. Now, one of the other things that people often find is that their database, they may have put things in the wrong field or it's not generating reports how you would envision. So I'm going to tell you guys the fields you're going to want to put information in so that you can generate the built-in reporting that's in your platform. So let's go into Julian, for example, here, okay? Now, in your contact info, we have this fun little field when you add somebody in, that's your source, okay? It's down here at the bottom. So when you go to add a record, it's going to be the source. And this, you can come in here and you can assign dollar amounts. Let's say you sponsor Zillow leads with an agent and you want to make sure that you're getting the most of your bucks, right? You could come in here to that source and say it's lead pops. and it costs you $10 per lead, moving forward, you're going to be able to pop in here and look at that particular source and identify if it's being worth your while, right? You'll be able to see who's funded. You'll be able to see all of that information. And a few things, right? The first thing is you're going to want to make sure you have your occupancy, right? That's going to be a big deal to you, because what happens if you don't identify that in your mailing addresses you're not updating, right? You're going to want to make sure that when you look back that you know, is this their mailing address, is this their property address, etc. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as you update a primary residence to funded, which I'll do now, and click update here, and just assume that Monica has funded, and give her a little funded date. Oops, didn't like the piece that's missing. Now everybody knows this is where your partners go, but this little question mark I rarely see clicked, okay? And some people like to have a referral tree to see if they're referring people out and referring people in. This little question mark is going to build your referral tree, okay? So right now it has no referral status. But if Olivia referred this particular individual to us, I'm going to want to click it once. So I say this was referred to me. Now, if I referred this person to Olivia, I could click it one more time and it would say it was referred by me. To start over, you click it one more time and you're back at that question mark, okay? So what does that do? I'll show you. So I'll put this back as referred to me by Olivia. Now I'm going to head on over to my reports and I'm going to go to my participant reports, okay? And in here, you're going to see everybody that has been referred to me, those different leads and the different pipelines or marketing sequences that we have built out, right? You can points, right? Because that's your goal. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever you find most value in, you can play with this, and it is really an incredible tool to help hold you accountable. And so you would plug in all of your information here as far as what you want to track, and then come down here, save your scorecard when she's ready, and it will glean the information in a pretty little report. I gotta enable it, save scorecard, and then in your dashboard, you will see a scorecard dashboard, okay? So here, you will now see how you're doing. Here's today, here's this week, and here's this month, okay? And you can change the dates down here, you can reset it, whatever it is that you want to do to see here, however you're monitoring your goals, whether it's weekly, monthly, daily, it gives you the opportunity to stay on top of it from a very focused day-to-day, but also at a higher level to look at it on a monthly basis, okay? So this is going to be a huge deal for you guys. All right, the last thing, not the last thing, who am I kidding? I want to make sure everybody's alerts are on correctly, okay? So in our alert dashboard, if yours does not look like this, it is not integrated with the national averages, okay? So you're going to want to come in here to these three dots, select change, and you're going to want to update these here, okay? The default setting is 1 year into the loan. Update it to 0.5, because you're going to want to know 6 months into the loan, like after it's been 6 months once someone closes. If rates go down, you're going to want to know. You don't want that alert to be delayed another 6 months. So you're going to want to change that. And it probably says 1% is the default here. You're going to want to change it to 0.5 point or even 1/4 point, whatever you feel is best based on your pricing structure and all that good stuff, okay? And then this here, this is what integrates it with the national averages, okay? This is going to make it automatic for you so that that dashboard is actually helpful. Now, this here, obviously Model Match can help directly if you have a relationship with them or any other third-party vendor that can pull some of those production reports, etc. Those are going to be super helpful in making sure that your funded loans are gleaning accurate data. Now, what I'm also finding people's platforms is that they're not using their pick a search. And their pick a search is not just a search for somebody in your platform, which it absolutely can do, but it's also a report generator. You can report on anything in here, okay? So if I want to find anybody who funds with and is a second home or something like that, all of that data, all of those fields you can create in here. If I want to find people who have rates that are between 6.5 and 7.5. If I want to, anytime somebody funds, get notified. There's so many different ways that you can create different reporting. So I'll do a pretty light one here. For mortgages, I'll clear my search. Always clear your search first. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, I want to find everybody who is not. A couple other fun things. You're going to want to be checking your email opt-out and bounce report, okay? Your bounce report, if you're not checking your bounce report regularly, it does affect your reputation in your domain, okay? What do I mean by that? Bounce reports or bounce emails don't happen when you know people, okay? Bounce emails happen when you don't. And so the system goes, they keep sending it to these people whose emails keep bouncing. This could be spam, okay? So to stay on top of your bounce reports, go to your reports. You can go to your email opt-outs and see anybody that's in here. You can do it from the beginning of time, but mine's a demo account, so it's not necessarily going to show much here. And what you would do is you would take all of those email addresses and you're going to come over to options and go to do not contact list, okay? And you're going to drop all those emails in here so it stops sending it or trying to send it to the bounced emails unless you can update. All right, friends. Again, if you want to scroll up past some of these notes on the right-hand side, there is my link to my calendar. And if you want to set up a time to chat with me, I would be more than happy to. I know we went over quite a bit today, and we are recording this, so you will get a copy of this usually on Monday. If you don't have any other questions, thank you guys for joining us. I did lie a little. We went way over 30 minutes, but I felt like it was super important, and you guys were really engaged to asking questions, so I appreciate it. And we will see you on the next one. Bye.